Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the final episode of Benfica One Season Wonder. We're still at the club. We managed to get those 9 points we needed from those last 3 games. And so we have got Gil Vicente today, the final game of the season, and then we'll take a look through the competition and how we did compared to their real life season. But let's first take a look at how we got here. So after our 0-0 draw, we did enter the Europa League against AC Milan, losing the first leg 3-2. We went ahead with Everton scoring an absolutely beautiful effort from the outside of the box. They did look to come back though, making it 1-1 in the 28th minute with Calhanoglu playing off to Kessie into Ibra and then Brahim Diaz being able to pop that home. A lovely little move by AC Milan there. It did carry on though for us, with us getting an own goal. In fact, Grimaldo coming down this left hand side, fired it across, a shot from Pedrino hit the post, and Theo Hernandez smashes it off to Mori to make it 2-1. They did get one back though again at half time, 30 minutes in, with Kessie scored a lovely half volley from a corner. And then finally in the 89th minute, which was quite disheartening really, they did get another one to make it 3-2. Castello coming through and popping that away. Next up, we had the toughest test of the bunch to take on Sporting to try and get the win. In fact, we went 1-0 down early on in 10 minutes in, and I thought this was going to be it. We were going to absolutely get sacked, but the boys turned it around. We did bring in a few younger players for this game. In fact, we swapped out our striker, and even though they didn't actually have any influence on any of the goals, we won the game, so I can't complain. Pedrino getting the first goal, and he was there again to set up Chiquino to get the second. It was a little rebound, but off the post and in, making it 2-1. And that's only 20 minutes into the game. And it wasn't long after that, on the 24th minute, that we got our third to make it 3-1 and kind of seal up the tie. It went quiet from there. Pedrino coming forward again, popping it away, and it was 3-1. We were then back in the Europa League, and this time we continued some good form, ended up beating AC Milan 4-3. They did take the lead initially in the 8 minutes. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for us to actually win the game, or win the tie, I should say, as they did have 3 away goals, meaning they were put through on the away goal rule, even as the game freezes for us there. A lovely goal by Tonali though. Darwin was able to get one back, having gone 2-1 down, and it was kind of that fight back that was really nice to see. A lovely goal, and it kind of gave me hope for the upcoming few games to stay in the job. The boys obviously were happy to keep fighting for me, let's say that at least. But then we did get another one. Pizzi playing it out to Gilberto, who managed to get that ball back to across the box to Darwin, who took it very nicely, knocking it past the keeper in a tight space to make it level. And then Everton came forward to complete the comeback. It was cut out by Dalot initially, but Everton was able to get that ball across again for Darwin to get his hat-trick, and that made it 3-2. Chiquino then came forward with Weigl in the 83rd minute, and we went ahead this time. It was 4-2. Darwin, we were in prime position to go through to the semi-finals of the Europa League, but in the 96th minute, yes, 96, 6 minutes after the end of the game should have been, Rebic got the goal to put them through. Next in the league was Boavista, and we absolutely destroyed them. 4-0 in the first 2 minutes. Darwin was put through by Pizzi to get the lead, which was absolutely fantastic to have happen. 8 minutes in, we also got another one. Pizzi again involved in the build-up of this. Grimaldo getting the 1-2 after the throw-in. Ball comes across, and again, Darwin able to tuck it away just ahead of the goalkeeper. And then a free kick as well, also in the first half, meant that Weigl was able to volley it home from a couple of rebounds. But it continued. Instantly, we got a fourth, and that was kind of wrapped up the game, and it went quiet from there. But Grimaldo getting the ball across again, and this time Pizzi was the man in front of the keeper to make it 4-0. And finally, I can't say the name, but we beat them. We got the 3 points we needed. The ball through to Rafa to make it 1-0 in the 49th minute. and it stuck. We did still have a couple more games to play. Santa Clara was up next, 2-1 victory over them, kept our run of form going. Pizzi's over the top ball to Gilberto. It was a lovely pass and a good little volley at the back post for him, the right back. They did come back to make it 1-1 and level things before half time. Carlos Jr. getting past the full-back Grimaldo, and the ball came across for Alpor to tuck it away. That levelled things up, but we did get the goal to put us ahead. We also missed a penalty in this second half as well, but we won't talk about that. We'll focus on the fact we did actually win the game in the end. Chiquinho with the ball on the edge of the box. He was able to pop that into Everton, who then found it through to Darwin. Darwin Núñez popping it away, doing what he does best in front of goal to make it 2-1. And the penultimate game of the season did end with a loss. It was 1-0 in the 92nd minute. They came through, put it away. Disappointing result, really. It was a tight game. All right, so here we are. We are on game day today. Gil Vicente are the final game of the season. This will be the lineup we're going for. This is kind of our standard lineup we tend to go for. But you can see there are a few players that we have brought up from the younger squads. Araujo was the player that came in and kind of got us the win against Sporting, even though he didn't score. But it was quite a nice thing to do, and see him actually... he must have influenced the game somehow, because we managed to get the win, and it also caused Núñez to turn up in the last few games as well. So that was good. But that is the lineup we're going for. He will be on the bench. We got Núñez up top, Pizzi and Pedrino either side, Chiquinho and Weigl in the middle with Gabriel just behind, Grimaldo and Gilberto at the fullbacks, Verissimo and Ahmedozic in centre half, and then Odysseys in goal. Let's jump straight into the game, see how we do. Doesn't really matter. If we can win, it does bump us up to third. Hopefully, if the team above us, I think it was Braga, don't win. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, it would be nice considering that's where Benfica finished in real life, and I'd like to at least match it. Otherwise, this has been a very unsuccessful series so far. Two clubs and 2 times we've failed to even match what they've managed to do. Although I think we were at a bit of a challenge with Lille. But there we have it. Let's get into the game and see how we do. Okay, 12 minutes in, and we are coming forward with the ball. Grimaldo played it into Pizzi, who is looking to take on his man and maybe get a cross in. He does. Darwin does knock it down to Gabriel. Chiquinho, Gabriel on the edge of the box. A few little passes between each other, and we're still working it quite well, trying to get that gap to play it and thread it through. Lovely dink over the top to Gilberto. Is he going to look to get a cross in? Not quite. He plays it to Chiquinho. Gabriel on the edge, smashes it at goal, but it is saved well in the end by the goalkeeper. Well cut out by Gabriel into Weigl, who does play a ball through to Darwin, who's got to finish here. He doesn't. He smacks straight into the goalkeeper and makes another good save. 20-minute mark now. Gilberto looking over the cross. I mean, great switch of play to Pizzi, who's managed to bring that down. It does come across, but it isn't. It is cleared. Chiquinho now looking for Gilberto one more time. Again, back to Chiquinho. Are we going to keep the ball again like we did previously? And we'll try and work something. Weigl's through ball was cut out, but Grimaldo managed to latch onto that. Pizzi's turn this time wasn't able to find it through, and now they do look to come forward. Pedrino for Gil Vicente this time, playing it back, and they're having to recycle things, but they're doing quite well there. We need to try and just hold off for now. I think we're in a good position at the moment. We're in a good formation. We're holding off. We're sitting on their players. We've got obviously our centre halves covering the striker. As long as they don't forget he's there, that'd be great. But Lucas plays the ball to Samuel Lino. I'm not really sure, but the shot was saved, and it's all good. So I've brought on Diogo Goncalves on that right hand side, taking Pedrino off just to mix things up, to see if there's anything that he can do. Maybe we've had the chances, supposedly 5 shots on target. We need to be making a bit more out of this, I think. Everton has come on now for Pizzi. Still mix things up, see if we can create anything from this. There's only 15 minutes left. It's looking unlikely. Oh, we've got a highlight as I was just about to make a substitution. Can we get something here? Everton plays it off to Grimaldo, who's going to get that ball across to Everton, who crosses again to Goncalves. Oh, who isn't quite able to get there. But then the second shot, Darwin Núñez somehow managed to lay that off for Everton, or just touch the ball, and Everton was there to take control and smash it home. I mean, super sub or not, it's a great decision to bring him on. 10 minutes to go, we're 1-0 up, and it looks like it might just get us into second place as well. Wow, I guess that's because we beat Sporting in the league. So that, I mean, that would be great outcome if it is that. Let's take off Weigl and bring on Martin Neto. Just some fresh legs. I know he's young, but I think he can hold out there. And it might see us through to finish second. I mean, to be quite honest, I wasn't expecting us to do that well and jump up to second. But I'm going to take it. Unfortunately, David Tavares is out for 9 to 10 months. That's not good. But so good job we're only playing one season. But we'll jump to the point where we get the season review and take a look at how we got on. Here we are then. We are at the end of the season review. We have got a trophy, but maybe not anything that's too excited about. Who did we bring in then? So generally a lot of these players were already at the club. Otamendi, Vertonghen, and Gilberto, Everton, a lot of signings already made. Verissimo was very good for us in the end, and Nunes. But we did bring in Ana Amedovic, who did come in and perform very, very well for us. 4.3 million is a great signing, I think, really. And a £42 million release clause. Think we'd be making a profit there. So he's definitely the star player in that front. Outgoings, there was Jardel who went. Helton Leite also sold. Obviously, we know Diaz went as well as Zivkovic before the season started and we were in control. Otherwise, it was very quiet on the outgoings. And loans, again, nothing to note there. Just us missing out on a few players. So the Portuguese Cup, let's take a look at this and look at the competitions, compare them to how we got on. We did win as well as they did, I think. Let me just make sure I've got up the cup competitions here. Yeah, so it looks like they... Did they win that? No, they came second. No, wait. Yeah, they runners up. Is that right? I'm not dumb, am I? Yeah. No, that's right. Oh, so we did better than what Benfica did on that one. I was really confused then. I was like, I swear they won it, but they didn't. They lost. I believe it was to Porto, but we smashed Porto 4-1 in that game, which is great. So there you go. That's a positive. We've done better than that. Then when it was the Portuguese Cup, not quite as good there, I don't think, because I think they got to the semi-finals or the runners-up. Oh no, they became runners-up. So that is unfortunate. We did lose to Porto on penalties. We could have probably got a bit further, but it happens. It happens. That's fine. Euro League, Europa Cup. Well, Champions League, let's just say we got knocked out straight away. That's the same as what they did in real life, so not great. I was hoping to get a bit further than they did. But the Europa League, we did definitely do better. They got knocked out in the round of 32, whereas we got all the way to the quarterfinals, which is absolutely fantastic. And we could have got further. I'm really gutted otherwise. But in the league, let's take a quick look at the league table and our league table as to how we did in comparison. So we did finish second instead of third. So, I mean, that's a win. We didn't get as many points as they did in real life, which is interesting. And we do qualify straight for the group stage of the Champions League, which is good. I mean, that's better than what they did last year as well, which is, I mean, makes things a lot easier with regards to getting into the Champions League. Were we closer than they were to top of the table? Yes. We were 3 points closer. Nope, that's a lie. We were 4 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points closer. Yeah, I was having to check that then. Can't do maths. But after a dodgy start to the season, you can see we went on a massive run of form here and then went on to eventually dip and then come back again finally at the end of the season. I think second place isn't bad. I know they're not really happy. They're disappointed only qualifying and not winning the league, which, I mean, I am. But after such a poor start and finally getting into a bit of form, could have been worse. Goal of the season went to Goncalves, which is good to see. I really rated him this year. Benfica did beat Porto 3-0, or we beat Porto 3-0. I don't know why I said Benfica. And the biggest win was our 5-1 win, where Goncalves scored that goal. Finances-wise, how did we do there? Darwin was the top sales for the shirts. Everton, Pizzi, Wilschmidt and Rafa just behind him there. Not much else to really add on that. But our lineup for the season was Gilberto at right back, Grimaldo at left, Ahmedžić and Verissimo at centre half, which is very interesting because I highlighted at the beginning that I thought Vertonghen and Otamendi would be very crucial to us. Turns out they weren't even in the lineup at the end of the season. We used two players, one that we signed and one that wasn't necessarily a big name, but they were brilliant. I have to say, it took us a little time to find the right combination, but together they were great. Gabriel sitting just in front with Chiquinho and Pizzi in the middle. Pedrinho on one side, Everton on the other, and Nunes up top. Interesting to see Weigl's not in there. He played a lot of games for us, but these two boys just performed a bit better. I think that Weigl's been overshadowed a bit there because he was a crucial part in our competition and getting second and doing well. We did get a few manager of the months, which is nice. Fan player of the season was Grimaldo. Young player was Nunes. Obviously, Ahmedžić was signing of the season. I'm probably saying that wrong, so I apologise. Goncalves got goal of the season, as we saw. Nunes got most goals. Most assists was Pizzi. Nunes again got man of the match and average ratings highest. Some interesting record breaks there, so keep an eye on that. But let's jump into the squad and see how we did when it comes to appearances and that sort of thing in comparison to real life. We can see here then, as I will pop it up on screen as well, appearance wise doesn't really matter, but let's take a look at the goals, because you can clearly see that Darwin Núñez has outshone Seferovic and his real-life counterpart, getting 30 goals in our season, whereas Seferovic, who we've in fact sold to Marseille in January, got 26 goals. Pizzi with 16 goals, who's down here in 4th with 9 in R1. We've got Everton and Pedrinho with 14 and 10. Again, Everton doing all right in there. Pedrinho not even in the top 10 list for real life, so that's interesting to see. Will Schmidt is, though, and he got 5 goals for us. But interesting. Yeah, I mean, we obviously got the most out of Nunes, and that's why we didn't want Seferovic anymore or need him. So he went. Pizzi was a crucial part of things, so it makes sense. But yeah, Grimaldo got 2 goals. Did he in here? I think he did. Yeah, he did. So that's quite cool. You can see our goals are a bit more concise than theirs. Real life Benfica had 4 players on double-digit goals, whereas we only had 3, and Nunes got 30 goals for the season, with the next one down being 9, 5, and then loads of 3. So not bad. We won a trophy, which is good, and we finished second to get automatic competition in the Champions League. So I would probably say we did better. Not much better, but we definitely did better because we also got further in the Europa League as well. But there you have it. So I think that was a success somewhat. I mean, not massive success, but a trophy and getting second in the league, even though we were close on the verge of being sacked at one point. Bit worrying. But I hope you enjoyed it. We have got another one of these coming up next week. I believe, actually, it's a non-European team. So I'll just let you have a think who that could be. But I hope you did enjoy. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you next time.